Hey guys, welcome back to another update of my Canadian dividend investing portfolio series, where you guys get to see what it's like to be me, a Canadian investor, buying and selling stocks in the Toronto Stock Exchange using Wealthsimple Trade. That's my broker that I buy the stocks with, and I track everything here in my custom Google Sheet that I made. And there's a link in the description below where you can get it as well. And also you can try out Wealthsimple if you're interested in getting commission-free trades and some free stocks just for signing up. So my portfolio today is sitting around $82,104. And my net deposits that I've logged so far is $80,000. We're up about 2.63% or just over $2,000 overall, which if you've been following along for the last year or so is great news. Because we've pretty much all been down in the last couple months, and it's nice to see this cross back into the green. I've received $5,500 in dividends since I started, and you can see each of them in here. And there's actually some more that I'm going to log in a second, and I'm going to show you what that's like. Because right now, so far, I've only recorded $89 from April, but I've actually received a little bit more than that. So I'll show you what that's like to log that. And I also made a deposit, so I had more than $5 cash in here. Then I'll show you what stocks I bought and how I log those as well. And then that might help you decide if you want to try using this spreadsheet as well. So without getting too far into that, I did make a deposit, so we got to log that. I put in $200 this morning. And now it's time to log that, so I did put it into my tax-free savings account. It was $200, and I believe, it was Canadian dollars. Of course, it was Canadian dollars. And I believe today is April 17th of 2023. Yeah, that seems right. So in the summary tab, now I can see I have to about $205, but that's still incorrect because I haven't logged all of my most recent dividends. So when you're using a spreadsheet like this, you need to make sure it's up to date and you've inputted all of your numbers correctly, because if you input a mistake, you're going to see incorrect numbers here, and that's not going to be very good. So I received some dividends. We can actually pop into Wealthsimple to take a look at those. So you can find them in Wealthsimple if you go to your activity tab, and then maybe sort for the account that you're looking for, and maybe then look here for dividends. And these are all, I think the last one I might have recorded was ATD at 448, but I got REI here for 1764, SIS for 662, $10, $13, $15, $11, 15, and 50. Nice, that's a good one. So what I need to do is I need to copy these down and then go type them into the spreadsheet. So let's go back there. So that's going to happen down here in the dividends tab. And this is the master list of all the dividends I've ever received. And with the magic of editing, where they're all going to appear here very quickly. And then we can just pop back into the summary tab. And we're going to see here that the cash again has been reflected, $347. So this is actually what I had in my account this morning before I bought stocks. I'm filming this video in the evening, but this morning I bought the stocks. And now you're seeing how I go about adding to my spreadsheet to track my activity after the fact. And we can see here this bar just has been updated, because before it was like 80 something and now we're at like 200 or whatever that number was. You can go back and see. Anyways, we're looking at, that's pretty nice. And before the month is out, we're going to be pumping. We're right up somewhere in this territory, and that's going to be pretty good to see. So taking a look at the portfolio tab, we can get an idea of what's going on inside my portfolio. Just going to check that around a little bit. So nice, alimentation push card. They're almost at 50% or 45%. That's pretty good. EIF also rocking it. Pizza, why not? Doing really well. And some of these companies also paying pretty nice dividend there, and overall doing pretty well. And then when we come down here, we of course have some bigger losers down here. And yep, some are good, some are bad. And then I also like to just check this out, percent of holdings, put the biggest positions at the top and the smaller ones down at the bottom. Because today, what I was looking at when I was buying some shares, I got Bank of Montreal here. That was on my radar. It's actually in the green for me, but when I sort this for the percent of holdings, we're going to see that Bank of Montreal is one of my smallest positions. And when it's not up really high, I kind of see that as a good opportunity. And also when I check the spark line, so when we're in here for Bank of Montreal, I already have it loaded. It just looks good in the general all-time trend and also in the last 5 years. And they've got some pretty nice dividend here, 4.65%. And everything is looking moderately okay for these guys. So I thought I'm going to go ahead and buy one share of those, because I can only afford one because they're quite expensive. They're over $100 for one share. And then I was also looking at these two companies, so Intergex and Power Corporation of Canada. Both of these are relatively small positions. They're pretty close down to the bottom of the list, about 2.5% of my account each, and both of them happen to be in the red, pretty far down. So when I bought shares in these, it's going to reduce my average price in these companies, and it's also going to increase the size of my percent of holdings and sort of bring them up in the list. Of course, when some go up, others go down, but I try to keep it somewhat balanced. I'm not doing a great job of that. Biggest holding being almost 6%, but I'm pretty happy that's in Waste Connections. Solid company. And down here, I'm kind of just monitoring this number, and you can see most of my account here is over, my position is over $2,000, whether I'm up or down, and that's kind of nice. So I'm going to try to pop up some of these above that number. I suppose Power Corp and Energex are already at that threshold, but you get the idea. Over time, I try to just, every now and then, if it makes sense to buy more into one of my smaller positions, and I try to do that. That's my own kind of strategy for trying to keep my account somewhat balanced, and that's what I like to do. Anyhow, let's take a look then in Wealthsimple. So we can actually turn off the dividends thing here and look for the recent buys, and we're going to see on April 17th that, yep, I did buy one share of BMO, and then for Energex, they're a bit cheaper. They're like $14, so I bought 4 of those. And Power Corporation, I bought 1 of those. So what I need to do, again, just like the dividends, is I need to bring that into the Google Sheet. And those are going to be logged in my Transactions tab, which is a big master list of all my transactions. And so we're just going to scroll down all the way to the bottom. I've got 700 lines in here. I've been at this for a while. And again, with the magic of editing, bam, they're just going to pop up like that. So you guys don't have to watch me just type them in, but basically I just type them in. And then here, when we're done with that, sorry, maybe I left that screen a little bit too early. So I just placed those in there. I check the totals here to make sure if I'm buying more than one share, like for the example, Energex, that checks out with Wealthsimple, which it does. I'm trying to, again, make sure that I reduce my errors going into this thing, because garbage in equals garbage out. If you've ever used any kind of software like that, you would know. So anyhow, I've still got over $100 left in cash, but that's okay. I decided to stop there for today, and I'm going to probably check back in later in the week. I'm expecting that I'll deposit another $200 probably, and then try to spend all of that with spending my own money and spending my dividend money, because every time I'm getting all these payments, they're rolling in all the time, and I'm just reinvesting it back into the account, trying to grow the overall thing and get that dividend snowball effect that people talk about, or compounding interest. So with that said as well, every month my dividend income is getting bigger and bigger, as we can see. And at the beginning of the video, before I bought the stocks, or before I kind of showed or recorded that I bought those stocks, my dividend income was sitting around $3,914, and now we're at $3,924. So my passive income per year has just gone up by $10 based on these shares that I bought today. So the more shares that I buy, the bigger that number gets. And then every time I get these, like in January, for example, I received $450, and I took all of that and I just bought more dividend paying stocks. And that, again, helps increase this number because now I have more dividend stocks. So that's kind of the idea here, more or less. And yeah, if you're into that, that's cool. If you're not, then I'm not sure why you made it this far into the video, but good for you anyways. And yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'll be back again later in the week, so please drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you're buying this week and how everything is going, and if your account is looking great this week as well. So guys, take care, talk to you in the comments, and see you in the next video.